people, Joy.
Yes.
The other thing that Governor Christie took up was the issue of bail. I want to play what he said.
For too many communities across our country, the bail system is fundamentally broken. In lots of cases, nonviolent offenders are sitting in jail simply because they couldn't afford $250 in cash for bail. It's wrong that we allow poverty to determine who gets out of jail and who does not.
I mean, go ahead. In New York City, recently, I think it was last month, low-level, nonviolent offenders are not going to be forced to pay cash bail precisely because of all the things the governor outlined.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that issue, on asset forfeiture, which is a big issue for Rand Paul, I think one of the interesting things is that you are seeing Republicans kind of, after their successes, particularly in 2010, there are a lot more governors of purple states, of big urban, frankly, states, and governors and mayors deal with these issues in a way that is very particular, and they really do see the financial, the fiscal impact of it a lot more closely. But you do have an evangelical piece of it too. I mean, you think about Governor Kasich in Ohio, who comes at his politics from a very religious standpoint. You think about Governor Huckabee, who, by the way, was lampooned and really pilloried by fellow conservatives for being too soft on crime when he ran in 2008. But now his message is pretty mainstream that we need to reform the criminal justice system, Rand Paul and others. So I think you are seeing, particularly with the governors, the people who experience the system and the cost of it, a lot more forthrightness because there's no political cost. Let's just be honest. There's no cost to it now.
And as Joy said, the arguments are so compelling. When Alex and I deal with women that have sat in jail for 9, 10, 12 months because of $200 worth of bail, really? This is the United States of America? These are people that there's no longer presumption of innocence. Their civil rights, their liberties being taken away for the cost of $200? This is nuts. And then when we look to what we spend, $80 billion a year in this incarceration complex, and, you know, within 5 years, 2/3 are back. This is an overwhelming indictment. This is a failed system. And what's heartening to me, Joy, is whether you're Republican or Democrat, whether you're Christian, evangelical, agnostic, this is morally bankrupt.
Yeah.
This is wrong. We're condemning lives. And what it does, I mean, I was in jail yesterday. What it does to people's minds, their sense of self, it becomes a defining self-narrative of their life. And so we can spend a fraction of the cost on treatment while people are incarcerated, and when they walk out the door, help provide them with continued treatment, provide them with housing, provide them with training to move them from a place of dependency and welfare to independence, and it can be done.
But the only thing is, where that stops, I think, with a lot of particularly conservative governors, is they don't want to expand Medicaid. So if you have people coming out of prison with no jobs and no money, we have to think about expansion of Medicaid.
With mental health issues.
Spending. Yeah.
It is the first step in a long road, Joy, and it is worth saying jail and prison is not just for punishment, it is also for rehabilitation.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be.
That is what it's supposed to be. I think we were reminded of that.
Thank you for bringing light to this issue.
Thanks for your time, former New Jersey Governor Jim McGreevey. Always good to see you, Joy. Hang with me. When we come back, we will continue to follow breaking developments out of Tennessee, where a senior federal official has confirmed to NBC News that the suspect in the Chattanooga shooting has been identified as Mohammed Yusuf Abdulaziz. We'll have more on that after the break.